Happy Wednesday or Thursday, boys and girls. Today we're going to do a choral read of Mole and the Baby Bird. The author of our story is Marjorie Newman. The illustrator of our story is Patrick Benson. Remember, boys and girls, the order of title, author, and illustrator are always the same. Title, author, illustrator. If there's not an illustrator listed, then either the author is the one that drew the pictures or the pictures were taken. Our story this week is literature. We know that because it has a beginning, middle, and end. We also know that because it has a problem and a solution. And we also know because it has a lesson that we can learn. So it's literature. Boys and girls, specifically, our story is an animal fantasy. It's an animal fantasy because the animals are characters and they talk and act like people. And we know that animal or fantasy means fake or false, and that means that it cannot really happen. Moles cannot really talk or push a cart or do the things that the characters do in the story. Our question that we're thinking about this week as we read our story is, how can we look at things in a different way? Boys and girls, I would like for you to tell your family member, how does Mole look for things look at things in a different way in our story this week? Pause the video to answer the question and then press play when you're ready and we'll begin reading. Turn the page, please. Finger on the first word. Read with me. Ready? Mole found a baby bird. It had fallen out of its nest. Mole waited and waited, but no big bird came to help it. So Mole took the baby bird home. Other side. He made a nest for it. Look, he said to his mother. Boys and girls, tell a family member, why does Mole take the baby bird home? If you said that Mole took the baby bird home because there wasn't a big bird or a mama bird to come and take care of it, then you are correct. It tells us that right here in the sentence, Mole waited and waited, but no big bird came to help it. And we know that from the sentence before that the baby bird had fallen out of the nest. So Mole took the baby bird home so he could take care of it. Turn the page, please. Finger on the first word. Read with me. Ready? It's very, very hard to take care of a baby bird, she said. They usually die, said his dad. My bird won't die, said Mole. Other side. His friends helped him find food for the baby. His mother showed him how to feed it. Mole fed it whenever it chirped. Boys and girls, tell a family member, what does Mole do to take care of the baby? On page 65, we can see that he found food for the baby and that Mom showed him how to feed it. So Mole fed the baby to take care of it. Turn the page, please. Finger on the first word. Read with me. And the bird didn't die. It grew. It's my pet bird, said Mole. It's not a pet bird. It's a wild bird, said his mother. Other side. The bird fluttered its wings. Tell an adult or a family member, what does fluttered mean in this sentence? The bird fluttered its wings. You may have heard Charlie in the background, but fluttered means that he flapped or he flew. Fluttered means to flap back and forth. So he's trying to fly, or he's making a motion that looks like a bird. "Your bird is trying to fly," said his mother. "No," cried Mole. "It mustn't fly." Turn the page, please. Finger on the first word. Mole found some wood and some nails. He borrowed his dad's toolbox. "What are you making?" asked his dad. "I'm making a cage for my pet bird," said Mole. "It's not a pet bird. It's a wild bird," said his dad. "You should let it fly." "No!" cried Mole. Boys and girls, tell a family member, why do you think Mole does not want his bird to fly?
Because he loves you.
Don't answer my question. Okay. You may again have heard Charlie, but he said because he loves it, and he is correct. Mole wants to keep his bird, and he knows if it flies, he won't get to keep it. Turn the page, please. Finger on the first word. He put his bird into its new cage. The bird was sad. At the bottom, Mole's mother was sad too, but Mole kept his bird because he loved it. Right there it tells us why he kept his bird, because he loved it. Other side. Then Granddad came to visit. He looked at Mole's pet bird. Presently, Granddad said, "Let's go for a walk, little Mole." The word presently here tells us how he said, "Let's go for a walk, little Mole." Presently means, I think, kind of with a positive voice, like an adult would ask you to go for a walk. So with a happy voice, I think. So it wouldn't be a sad voice or a mad voice, but just with a happy voice. "Let's go for a walk, little Mole." Turn the page, please. Oh, at the top. Granddad took Mole to the top of a high hill. Other side. Mole looked down at the trees far below. Turn the page. Finger on the first word. He felt the wild wind trying to lift him. "Whee! I'm flying!" cried Mole. "Nearly," said Granddad. Other side. When Mole got home, he looked at his bird. What do you think Bird was thinking while he was looking at his bird? Tell an adult or a family member. Pause the video if you need more time. It was sitting very still in its cage in Mole's dark underground room. "Birds are meant to fly," said Mole. I believe he's thinking about letting the bird go. Turn the page, please. Finger on the first word. He opened the cage door and he let his bird fly away because he loved it. Then he cried. Other side. The next day, Mole went into the forest. He saw his bird flying, soaring, free, and Mole was glad. What's a synonym for glad? That's right, happy.